Hey girl. So today, I wanted to use this one more time. Girl, I swear if I look at this video and I'm looking oily. Okay, if this is your first time visiting my channel, hello. In today's vlog, I want to catch you up briefly on the last 2 weeks that I know I have not been here. I had a very scary health situation come up and I literally could not use my arms in my hands. So yeah, I just briefly have a few things jotted down here that we'll go over. I've been really excited because my business has been growing and just so many things have been aligning with that still, the alignment and synchronicities in terms of my business stuff has, I just remembered I didn't like the lighting. It's okay. I'm wearing makeup today because I was taking pictures. Me and my friend, I feel like I just started about 4 different sentences and I didn't complete any of them. So we're just gonna dial it back to this. Basically, had some stuff going on. The business is growing. I'm excited about that. And I still plan to continue doing weekly vlogs. I know the last 2, I think I've skipped a week both times, but girl, I'm telling you, I'm here. One random thing that I wanted to bring up is that I'm gonna start documenting my microneedling journey. So I'm gonna start microneedling at home on my own. And I'm also gonna start using this turmeric oil, and I don't wanna start using them at the same time because I would like it to be a controlled experiment or just have only test one variable at a time. But I think it'll be really helpful. Of course, the one day I'm wearing makeup is when I'm telling you about my skin, so you can't really see, but I just waxed my eyebrows yesterday. So you might see some bumps because you're not supposed to use makeup so fast, but girl, I have stuff to do. That's why I wax my eyebrows. But so these little bumps right here is just because that or whatever. But I still, as you've seen, even though I manifested the clear skin and got my skin back and all that, whoop whoop, there's still some very subtle scars that have showed up here. And I also recently had some bumps pop up because of inflammation from that health situation that I had show up where I couldn't use my arms. And so that was all connected. And so I decided after doing some research that I am very interested in microneedling, and I plan on documenting that ideally in a separate video. I mean, I might just do it in my vlogs, but I know people interested in microneedling may not all be interested in watching my whole ass vlog. So we'll see. Keep an eye out for that. I am still keeping today's video quick, even though it's been a long time. It's hot in here. I'm gonna be really straight up with you. It's hot in here. I have to close the door to make these videos, and the AC is loud, so I don't have the AC on. And I just told you I went and took pictures today, so the SD card is kind of full, so bitch, we're gonna be in and out, okay? Next thing I wanted to mention is bring up the reticular activating system. These are not in order, by the way. You're just gonna have to stay with me today. I just jotted down randomly. I wanted to bring up the reticular activating system, so the part of your brain that filters out information. It decides what's important and what's not, kind of thing, or what you're focusing on and what you're not, blah, blah, blah. And you can play with that in real time. So I'm sure you've heard of that already in terms of installing new beliefs and having your brain pay attention to different things or whatever. We've talked about that. We do that. But if you need some evidence for your brain to just see that it's really real, it's really a thing, it's really working, not your conscious mind believes it already, but the brain loves evidence. So that's why I'm sharing this. I was in the store and I just randomly decided to focus on shout out different colors to myself. And so I was looking across the store, and I think it's because at first I was seeing a lot of blue or red, whatever. I'm just in the department store and I'm a little tall, so I could see over, most of the store. I'm not that tall, but and then I decided to switch the color each time. So I was looking around, I'm like, oh, I see a lot of red right now. And then I would look down and be like, okay, yellow. And then I would look up and just casually look at the store. I'm not looking for anything, I'm just casually looking around. But I've said the word yellow. My brain has identified yellow. So all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these yellow garments of clothing, they're popping out. And I switched to color green, blue, red, whatever. And you'll see like all of a sudden you're noticing all of these different colors of clothing that have been here the whole time. You're just noticing them more. And that's the same logic that I've been sharing with you about when you look for ways that things are serving you or aligning with you, or you're looking for the positive things, looking for ways you're always receiving money. You know what I mean? It's not that the old negative stuff or less desirable things don't ever happen in your life, but you pay less attention to them, you remember them less, your reticular activating system like filters them out more because you're so focused on seeing life through the lens of ways that things are working for you. And I also noticed this in myself, a difference between my luteal phase and the other phases of my cycle, where there was a point where I was like, what's going on in the luteal phase? Like, I feel like, am I putting out a different frequency? Like, why does more bullshit happen in the luteal phase? Or why do I experience more things that I don't desire in my luteal phase? I still have my same frequency, so why is that happening? It's not. It's that in your luteal phase, your threat detection is up a little bit more, long story short. And so it's not that anything different is really happening to me or in my life when I'm in my luteal phase, but my brain is noticing more threats. They're not actually threats, but more undesirable things sometimes than it does during other phases of my cycle. And not the whole phase, just like that tail end of the luteal phase. And so that's another way I've seen the RAS kind of in action, where it's like, it's not that nothing undesirable ever happens, but it bothers you less, it impacts you less, which means it's impacting your frequency less because your nervous system is your frequency. And if your nervous system isn't spiking for unnecessary things simply because you're not registering them or not caring about them, then your frequency is remaining the same. And it just keeps going, you know what I mean? So it's all about just changing our perspective, changing our beliefs, and standing on business with who we are, per usual. You know, I hate when I put notes down and I don't give myself enough context. I'll skip to this one. And then there's one more thing. I did want to talk about my Soul Verge event that I did. Soul Verge is still going strong, bitch. We are still outside. I still am just like, I can't believe like how many people are still coming to the events, and it's just real. Like, my life just changed before my eyes. But I hosted a workshop where I shared with people tools to help them deepen their meditations, many of the tools in which I've shared here with you. The workshop was specifically catered for people that are trying to deepen their meditations and to show people that you can approach meditation in a way outside of just sitting still. There's nothing wrong with sitting still meditations. There's nothing wrong with any form of meditation because there are a billion forms of meditation out there. But I was very excited to share other modalities and why they work, and the feedback I got was insane. I should have brought my phone with me because I could have read you one of the DMs. One of the women that came to the workshop actually tried it at home, and then she messaged me because I told them to message me, like I would love to hear it if they actually tried it. She messaged me and she was like, I can't believe how effective this was, like blah, 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 like she was so excited. And they also all gave glowing feedback on the feedback form. It was a group of 5. I wanted it to be small, I wanted it to be intimate, and we had a small space anyways. If you are local to Los Angeles, and specifically North Los Angeles, I host these out in Canoga Park. And it is at Artfully Made Artisans Mall. And I plan to do something similar to it again next month because there was such good feedback. And that just warmed my heart. The whole workshop, the feedback from the ladies, getting to, you know, do what I do. I love helping other people and other women with emotional regulation and dealing with or finding accessible ways to soothe and regulate yourself in your day-to-day life. And I'm just so happy with how that went. So yeah, I had a situation on the phone. I did want to share this with you. Let me check my storage. Okay, we're doing good. I did want to share this with you. I was on a phone call with a doctor because I went to the doctor for what I experienced. That doctor was ass, and then he also BS'd the after visit notes. And so I emailed about the after visit notes to get them corrected. And I know doctors don't like when patients advocate for themselves, but I still was like, you know, we gotta fix the records. I was very respectful, but it's still uncomfortable. The nurse calls me, we're on the phone. And I felt like nervous just even when I saw that she had called. And I was doing my breathing kind of thing, like while I was talking to her, because I can sense, I know when my body's talking to me, you know? I could feel the feeling in my chest, and I could just feel the discomfort that was going on. Not that it's severe, but it's there and it's not comfortable. And I could tell there was a sense of, I don't even know, pride or something in my brain that didn't want to admit that I'm having anxiety right now about a phone call. Because my brain, I feel like, wanted to be like, we're regulated, like we don't experience anxiety for something like a phone call. We're confident, we're this, that, and the third. And then I became aware of even the BS that I was sensing myself, because it's not that I was hearing this word for word, it's more of like a knowing. But I clocked it, and then I was like, you know, I don't really care what the reason is for how I'm feeling right now. If we want to sit with that later and you want to work on yourself and whatever later, do that. But right now, let's just soothe our body, because our body is clearly not feeling comfortable and safe in the situation. So while I'm on the phone with her, I think I did the ears and the tapping, and then obviously breathing and stuff. Those are just really accessible for right then and there. I could have used an ice pack too, but I usually use the other stuff. And I just like started to instantly bring my body down out of sympathetic into parasympathetic state. And that moment even gave me even more clarity of how often, not just myself, I'm sure there are plenty of people that experience that, and I experienced that a lot more when I was first entering this space of getting past your mind's pride of not wanting to admit how you really feel. It's like when I first started doing this stuff and I had to admit when I was hurt by something, or I had to actually admit to myself when I was being defensive and admit to myself XYZ. You can't do something about it until you admit that it's happening in the first place. And then once you admit to yourself, like, yeah, I'm feeling this way. Yeah, I'm feeling anxious right now. Okay, cool, we could do something about that. You're not gonna do something about it if you don't feel like it exists. You know what I mean? If I'd have just continued to be on the phone and act like there's something wrong, I'm feeling fine, you know, then I wouldn't have done anything about it. It took me acknowledging, like, no, I can tell my body's uncomfortable right now. I'm uncomfortable right now. I was nervous about this conversation, and that's okay. Let's get back, let's get back to a calm state. So, cool learning opportunity. The last thing with negative thoughts, because let me check on the battery and stuff again. Okay, we're in a good place. Last thing, I wanted to discuss your relationship with negative thoughts, because that is a big thing in this space of regulating and changing your identity, or however you want to word it. And something that I noticed for myself that I found to be very helpful with changing my relationship with my thoughts was when I really started to identify the pattern of what influences my thoughts and my inner voice. And I notice now, if I'm experiencing negative thoughts back to back, like let's say I'm out and about and I'm like, of course this person had to get in front of me in the car. You know, they like cut me off or whatever. And then I'm in the store, of course you have to put your freaking basket right there. Like if I'm having thoughts like that and it's like more than just one or two, questions I ask myself, am I fed? Am I well fed? Am I hydrated? Am I well rested? Have I had an energetically taxing day or weekend? Have I had time to replenish? Things like that, because I notice those correlate almost every time. Like if I'm feeling like, of course you have to freaking put your basket right where I'm trying to look. Like if I'm thinking some stupid shit like that, I'm like, okay, you're either in your late luteal phase, like in the last like kind of 5-day window, and you probably still just like need a little more of one of those boxes, water, food, sleep type of thing, or you're not in that 5 days of your luteal phase, and then it's for sure one of these. You're already energetically taxed, probably had a really energetically taxing day, and this is letting you know that you're reaching capacity. Food and water is easy for me to I know that off bat. Like, have I eaten today? But just a thing to bring up. If that's something for yourself that could be potentially beneficial, if you deal with negative thoughts and you notice how sometimes you go through life and you're just like, frolicking through Trader Joe's. And then there are some days where you're just like, of course you gotta get in the line that I was just about to get in, It's helpful for me at least to identify like, hey, this is out of my norm. I'm normally not having thoughts like these. I usually just do my thing. So if I'm having thoughts like those, I start to check in with myself like, okay, because that's a sign to me that we're getting close to capacity and we probably need to go inside and get some rest or whatever, relax, take a walk, something like that. So I think that's it for today, girl. I've had a really fun day. I'm so excited about the synchronicities and stuff, and girl, I'm still out here. Oh my gosh, I had to write a thing. I was talking to somebody and it's like, when I had to see when did I quit my job? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's technically December of my first video on here, my first vlog was December, or I guess the first vlog was probably January 1st or something like that, or it was like December 31st. I'm like, December 2024, and we're still out here, bish. Indoors. Oh, I just took my ring off. Yeah, I still can't believe my life, and I'm excited that things are going well with my business. Look at you know what? I can't reach the one that I really want to show you, so I'll show it to you another time. But I've got new things going with my business and stuff, and I'm going to be doing an event at the end of this month. So I'll talk to you about that, and I'll see you next week, girl, for real. I swear, if I don't post next week, next week it is busy. Well, girl, I'm going to try to see you next week. Bye.